If your New Year's resolution is to preserve our precious television heritage, you're in the right place because there's plenty of classic TV ahead as Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown continues. 1992 brought us a new heavyweight champ, a new president, and a brand new list of chart-topping classics for Nick at Night's annual Rerun Countdown, so stay tuned. 1992 saw profound political changes, sweeping economic changes, and momentous changes in the Rerun Countdown charts. So stay right here with Nick at Night.
Nick at Night's Rerun Countdown, classic TV.
He's rough and he's tough, but he's tender. He never hits children or girls or women of the opposite gender, or kittens or puppies or squirrels. That was the personal theme song of Top Fist. And who was Top Fist? None other than Dobie Gillis, whose swift but terrible hands allow him to steal Tuesday Wells' affections away from Warren Beatty. Number 7 in 1990, off the chart last year, but back in 92, up to number 10. It's The Fist Fighter.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, number 10. Nick at Night's Rerun Countdown, classic TV.
Show after show after show, Rob tripped over that ottoman, raising physical comedy to new heights. But in our next episode of The Dick Van Dyke Show, it was Laura who took the fall. Yes, the straight-laced Mrs. Petrie gets punched in the eye, burns her hand, and ends up reeling across the living room, flinging ice cream, slumping under the table, and performing as a one-woman marching band. Hard to believe? Just stay tuned for a classic entitled Pink Pills, Purple Parents.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, number 9. Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown.
All the publicity about the death of the comic book Superman was forgotten here at Nick at Night when we lost another Superman this year. A very special dedication after this.
Nick at Night's Rerun Countdown, classic TV.
He was a Major League Baseball player, star of the long-running The Rifleman. But Chuck Connors is best known to Nick at Night viewers for his hilarious portrayal of a country bumpkin who just happens to be named Superman, Sylvester J. Superman. Back for the second straight year, it's Flight to the North, one of the most wonderfully improbable episodes of Superman ever made. Chuck Connors died in 1992. So our number 8 episode is respectfully dedicated to his memory.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, number 8. Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown.
With Casey Kasem.
Today, crooning to cattle is commonplace. But when our next episode first appeared, audiences were shocked that anyone would sing to a cow in order to get more milk. Who was singing? Stay tuned. Dankeschön.
Nick at Night's Rerun Countdown, classic TV.
Who sang to his cow? It was on The Lucy Show. The song was Bessie the Heifer, and the man who piped it was none other than that Las Vegas legend, Wayne Newton. You may not recognize him without the mustache, but you'll know it's him when he sings his unforgettable bovine melody. If you have any cows of your own, let them watch, but be sure to get those milk buckets ready. Coming in at number 7, it's Lucy Discovers Wayne Newton.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, number 7. Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown.
With your host, Casey Kasem.
A letter. Dear Nick at Night, next month I will be out of work. I have a great deal of experience in public speaking, so I'm considering pursuing a career in TV broadcasting. Any tips? Sincerely, GB 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Nick at Night's Rerun Countdown, classic TV.
Thanks for your letter, GB of Washington, D.C. I can understand the temptation to enter the often lucrative field of television broadcasting. And our next episode is just what you're looking for. Practical training that can make you a successful news anchorman. It's Ted Baxter's famous Broadcaster School. Available only in our next classic episode of Mary Tyler Moore. Study hard.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, number 6. Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown.
His face was painted. His jacket said, "Down with the fuzz." And when Friday told him, "Stay in the chair," he said he was the chair. His name after this.
Nick at Night's Rerun Countdown, classic TV.
Friday and Gannon's interactions with youth drug culture are legendary, but the incident that truly left an indelible mark was the tragic tale of one Benjamin John Carver, better known as Blue Boy. The episode not only taught Bill and Joe authentic hippie slang, freak out, bum trip, but also reminded them that in every war, you lose a few battles. The lesson of Blue Boy is timeless. It's no wonder it ranks in the top 10 of the Rerun Countdown for the second straight year. So listen and learn.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, number 5.
Which episode will top the charts in Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown? Here's a clue. An elephant plays a major off-screen role. Stay tuned. That number 1 show is on the way.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown.
With your host, Casey Kasem.
Our next episode tops the charts thanks to a guest star who dared to go where no guest star had gone before. Stay tuned.
Night's Rerun Countdown, classic TV.
Our next episode is a classic Alfred Hitchcock Presents with a twist ending that'll make your head spin. But what really puts it over the top are the performers. Jessica Tandy, Billy Barty, and of course that guest star who went where no other guest star had gone before, William Shatner. It's called The Glass Eye, and it's the only episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents that could begin Captain's Log. Stardate, 1992.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, number 4.
Who's the star of 1992's number 1 show? Here's a little hint. He was Aunt Yoo-Hoo and Mr. Fee-Fi-Fo. Now, stay tuned for more of Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown.
With your host, Casey Kasem.
Was rock and roll a danger to America's youth, a subversive force that could lead to revolution? Would you believe? Our next show says yes.
Nick at Night's Rerun Countdown, classic TV.
Today, the prospect of rock and roll fomenting a revolution among our nation's youth seems laughable. But our next episode shows that in 1968, it almost happened. The rock group was the Sacred Cows, and their inflammatory hit song was Thrill, 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 Kill, Kill, Kill. The episode, a classic Get Smart, featuring Larry Storch as the evil rock promoter, the Groovy Guru, charting as 1992's number 3.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, number 3.
You're watching Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, and you're probably wondering what the number 1 show will be. So here's a pair of clues. Stay tuned. That number 1 show is on the way.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown.
With your host, Casey Kasem.
That's a double take. It's the bread and butter of classic television comedy, and our next episode stars a master of the double take. Stay tuned and see why. Who's going to be number 1 in this year's countdown? Here's a clue. He gave us a little song, a little dance, and most of all, a little seltzer down our pants. Stay tuned.
He's the doctor. He's the messenger. He's the beatnik. and he's part of our television heritage. Frank Adamo appeared in more bit parts than anyone on the Dick Van Dyke Show, from waiter to head waiter, from man to man. But those were minor roles compared to Frank's primary role off-camera as Dick Van Dyke's personal assistant. So look for Frank Adamo, part of our television heritage and the Dick Van Dyke Show, every night on Nick at Night.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown.
4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, everyone! And in a moment, we make the big announcement, the long-awaited #1 episode of 1992.
Up.
Nick at Night's Rerun Countdown. Classic TV.
Well, we've seen 24 great shows. So what makes one episode stand out as 1992's very best? If you think about it, viewer requests, high ratings, the Emmy Award, it's all just evidence of one simple fact. This episode is truly a classic among classics. And much like Verdi's classic opera I Pagliacci, it's sad, it's funny, and a clown dies. The #1 episode, of course, is Mary Tyler Moore. Chuckles bites the dust.
Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown. #1.
If you missed Nick at Night's 1992 Rerun Countdown, have no fear. You can tune in for a special replay of the top 10 tonight after Snick at 10, 9 Central here on Nick at Night.